I got this feeling inside my brains. It goes electric wavy when I make them A's. All through 4th grade, all through my school, we're flying up no ceiling when we're in our zone. I've got that sunshine in my pocket, looking forward to a good day. I feel I can do everything when I try. I can't stop myself from learning, moving up academically. Room unlock the way we rock it, so don't stop.
Hello students, and welcome back to another beautiful day. Today we're going to be learning about fractions. Why do I need to know about fractions? Adding and subtracting fractions. TEKS 4.3e. Let's get started. Don't forget, if you see this little guide, pause the video and write down what is on the screen, okay? Very important. Objectives. Students will know how to add and subtract fractions. Students will understand how to use objects and pictorial models to add or subtract fractions. Students will be able to share in a group discussion how to represent and solve addition and subtraction of fractions with equal denominators using objects and pictorial models that build to the number line and properties of operations. Alright, so let's see if we can do this. Let's see if we can check off, check, and see if we learned all of this today and tomorrow, okay? Essential questions. How can you represent the addition of a fraction, of fractions? Important vocabulary. Alright, so we have 3 new vocabulary words that we need to learn. We have, well, actually 2, because we know what a unit fraction is. We're also going to learn what does simplify mean, and then benchmark fractions, okay? Remember, a unit fraction is a fraction with a numerator of a 1 that represents one part of the whole. So these are all unit fractions because there's a 1 as my numerator. Simplify. This one is new. This is to express a fraction in its simplest form, okay? So this means that we're gonna divide the fraction so that way we can make it into its smallest or simplest form of a fraction, okay? For an example, here we have 6 over 8, and if I divide both my numerator and my denominator by 2, I get 3 over 4. And remember, we learned about equivalent fractions, okay? So 6 over 8 is equivalent to 3 over 4, okay? That's what it means to simplify, to make it into its smallest fraction as possible. And that means by dividing the numerator and the denominator by the same number, okay? We don't divide them by different numbers. Later on, we'll show you what that looks like, okay? Benchmark fractions. Fractions that are commonly used for estimation, okay? So it could be a half, it could be 1/3, and also 1/4. When you look at these benchmark fractions, you can easily tell where they're at on a number line or using fraction strips. Alright, let's get to our video and see what we can learn from it.
This is how the least common multiples found. Write a list of each denominator's multiples down. The smallest number you can find in both of them is the least common multiple, aka the LCM.
The least common multiple can also be called the least common denominator.
Welcome to Math with Mr. J. In this video, I'm going to cover how to add fractions with common denominators. And at the top of your screen in blue, we have the steps we're going to take in order to do this. We're going to check our denominators, and I'll tell you why here in a second. We're going to add our numerators, keep our denominator the same, and then simplify if needed. And we're going to go through 3 examples in order to get this down. So let's jump right into number 1 here, and we have rectangles filled with rectangles above our problem of 2/4 plus 1/4. So that picture there, that's going to help us model and visualize what's happening in this problem. So the first thing we need to do is check our denominators. And we have a 4 here and a 4. We need to check denominators because that's a good habit to get into when it comes to fraction problems. Because if you don't have common denominators in adding or subtracting fractions problems, it takes an extra step or two. So in this case, we do have a common denominator. So now we add our numerators. Our numerators are our top numbers. So 2 plus 1 gives us 3. We always keep our denominator the same. So 4, 4, and in our answer, our denominator is going to be 4. And we simplify if needed. In this case, 3/4 is already simplified. The only common factor between 3 and 4 is 1, so we're in simplest form. Our answer is 3/4. So let's do this with our model here. So our first rectangle here is cut into 1, 2, 3. It's cut into fourths. So we need to fill in 2/4 to represent that 2/4 in our addition problem. 1/4, 2/4. And in our second rectangle, we need to fill in 1/4 to represent that 1/4 in our problem. So now, how many total fourths are filled in? Well, we have 1/4, 2/4, plus the 1/4 gives us a total of 3/4. So our model matches our answer. So let's go to number 2. So again, we always check our denominators, and they are common denominators there, or like denominators. If you hear common or like denominators, they mean the same thing. So we have a 7 for both of our fractions. That means we can add our numerators now. 4 plus 2 is 6. Keep our denominator of 7 the same, and then simplify if needed. Now 6/7 is in simplest form. The only common factor between 6 and 7 is 1. So this is our final answer. If you ever need help with simplifying fractions, I do have another video that breaks that process down. I'll drop that link down in the description. Now for number 3, let's check our denominators. They are common. We have a common denominator of 9. So now we can add our numerators. 1 plus 5 is 6. Keep our denominator of 9 the same, and then simplify if needed. Now 6 and 9 have a common factor of 3, so we can divide both our numerator and denominator by 3 to break this fraction down into its simplest form. So divide by 3, and we get 2/3. Now,
And so if you didn't understand that, don't worry, we'll get more in depth with that later, okay?
when you simplify, it's still an equivalent fraction because we did the same thing to the numerator and denominator. We just broke it down to its simplest terms. And again, if you need help with that, I dropped that video link down in the description. So there you have it. There's how you add fractions with common denominators. Check your denominators first. Always do that. It's a good habit. If you have a common denominator, you can add your numerators, keep your denominator the same, and then simplify if needed. I hope that helped. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, peace.
Alrighty. Oops. Okay, so that was it for today's video, okay? So we learned a lot, okay? We learned how to add and subtract fractions, and tomorrow we're gonna do more practice on it, okay? So don't worry if you didn't get everything, we're gonna be on it tomorrow, okay? I hope you took some notes, and remember, I hope you have a great day. Remember, your brain is growing every day that you learn. Have a good day. Bye.